What's up, you guys? I want to talk real quick about something that I see done quite often when people are trying to evaluate a business on their own. And what they do is they try to evaluate the business by looking at the financials, the tax returns, the P&L statements. All these things are valuable, but it leaves out a huge and very powerful way to evaluate the business further. And that is to evaluate the seller. And you have to have a reasonably honest seller in any transaction that you do where you're buying their business. They can twist things around, they can lie, they can forget, they can not tell you the full truth, they can do lots of different things. What I like to do personally when I'm working with people is to try to figure out ways to evaluate that seller. And a lot of times you can do that by asking questions that you kind of already know the answer to, but they don't know that you would know the answer to. And when you do that, you can sort of test for their integrity. And so you have to ask questions that would be detrimental if they gave you the true answer. And you already have to know the answer to that too. So that requires a lot of expertise that will be unique to that particular industry. So for example, if you don't know anything about laundromats and you don't know anything about the machines, and you ask him, well, how long is XYZ model and brand of a machine going to last? And in reality, it's going to last 5 years. And you ask him and he says, oh, that'll last for 30 years. Well, you haven't really learned anything. You've actually gotten worse off because now you're believing all this BS that he's telling you. But if you did know everything about that particular machine, well, when you ask that and he says, oh, you can get 30 years, now you know you don't have a very honest seller on your hands. Then you have to wonder, what else is he trying to get away with? And so what happens is you want to be able to have an expert in that particular field of whatever the business is that you're buying to be able to ask those questions that he wouldn't think that you know the answer to, that may be detrimental if he answered honestly. And so when you can do that and you have experts in those particular fields, you can start to evaluate the seller. Because I promise you, if they think that they can get away with one thing and they're trying it, they're going to try to get away with other things. And when you find out, it's going to be after you've bought the business, and it's probably not going to rely on those numbers and all the stuff that most people do whenever they are looking at evaluating the business. The seller knows that they can't twist the numbers around because numbers don't lie, but a lot of stuff around those numbers can lie. And so when you evaluate a business, make sure that you are thinking about whether the seller seems to have some serious amounts of integrity, because you have to have that to be able to have a very low risk acquisition. So anyway, hopefully that helps out a little bit. Like, subscribe, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.